This is the Outsiders test that we are going to be taking. This first part is the multiple choice, and then you will have to do a short answer response. It says, please use your copy of the novel to complete the test. Put your first name, your last name. First question. The setting of the story shows that violence is a part of many teens' lives in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Only small towns are safe, where rich people and poor people will never be able to communicate without violence. What is the setting of Bob's death? The park, 2:30 in the morning. The vacant lot, 12:30 in the morning. Along the street in the evening after sunset. Ponyboy is a dynamic character because he dyes his hair and cuts it, showing physical changes on the outside. He changes the way he thinks about his views of greasers and socias and his relationship with Derry. He changes what he thinks and realizes Johnny is a killer and not a good friend. Who of the following is a static character? Two-Bit, because he always finds a way to make a joke throughout the entire story. Bob, because he was sweet and friendly his entire life. Dally, because he hated Johnny at first, but then grew to only care about him. Read the following excerpt from the novel. We were used to seeing Johnny banged up. His father clobbered him around a lot, and although it made us madder than heck, we couldn't do anything about it. But those beatings had been nothing like this. Johnny's face was cut up and bruised and swollen. There was a wide gash from his temple to his cheekbone. He would carry that scar all his life. Which of the following is not something that can be inferred by this passage? So what is not something that can be inferred? Johnny is hit at home. Johnny will have physical scars on his face. Johnny probably deserved to get beat up. Next question. What was Johnny's reason for running into the burning church? Johnny wants to do the right thing. Johnny really likes children. Johnny only wants to go back and get his and Pony's things. What is the purpose of Randy and Ponyboy's conversation before the Rumble? So Ponyboy can realize that violence is not good and that the Rumble will solve nothing. To decide where the Rumble will take place. So Ponyboy can realize that the Socias deserve to get beat so the Greasers can take their revenge. What were Johnny's last words to Ponyboy? Enjoy your life. Useless. Fighting's no good. Stay gold, Ponyboy. Stay gold. Why does Dally die? He wants to be with Johnny. It was an accident. He was pulling the gun out to surrender. He realizes he has nothing left to live for after Johnny dies. What does gold stand for in this novel? Innocence and purity, being the best at everything, money and fame. Read the following passage. What in the world are you doing? Two-Bit's voice broke into my thoughts. I looked at him, picking up the glass. What can you tell about Ponyboy from this? He is now angry. He is still caring. He is now clumsy. Ponyboy experiences a paradigm shift, a change in thinking, when he realizes that Derry hates the responsibility of taking care of him, loves him and wants him to go to college, is mad at him for making it so that Derry can't go to college. Which of the following is not a conflict in the novel? Person versus person, person versus self, or person versus nature? Derry always yells at Ponyboy because Derry does not want him to go out with Cherry. Derry is mad that Ponyboy is smart. Derry is afraid that he, Soda, and Ponyboy will be split up. Why does Johnny kill Bob? He didn't like Bob. Bob was drowning Ponyboy. Bob was trying to take over the territory. Read the following passage. Johnny just looked dead, like a candle with the flame gone. Which literary technique does S.E. Hinton use? Alliteration, metaphor, simile. Read the following passage. We could see for miles, see the ribbon of highway and the small dots that were houses and cars. Which literary technique does S.E. Hinton use? Alliteration, metaphor, or simile? The only thing Daly loves is getting in trouble with the police, himself, or Johnny. Why is this quote used in the beginning and the end of the book? When I stepped out into the bright sunlight from the darkness of the movie house, I had only two things on my mind: Paul Newman and a ride home. To show that Ponyboy can't think after being kicked in the head by that Soch in the Rumble. To show that the whole book is really Ponyboy telling the story of his life. To show how much Ponyboy loves going to the movies. Which of the following events could be included in the exposition, the beginning of the story? Ponyboy and Johnny rescue kids from the burning church. Ponyboy's jumped walking home alone from the movies by the Soches. Daly's shot by the police after robbing a grocery store. Which of the following events would be considered a part of the rising action? Johnny stabs Bob and kills him. Johnny dies due to his injuries from the church fire. Ponyboy writes his theme about the events that occurred between the Greasers and the Soches. Which of the following events would be considered the climax of the novel? The church catches fire and Johnny and Pony rush inside to save the children that are trapped. Johnny dies due to his injuries. Ponyboy is slapped by Derry for staying out too late. Which of the following events from the novel would be included in the following action? Johnny is injured after saving the kids from the church fire. Ponyboy writes a theme about his life involving the Greasers and the Soches. Daly is shot and killed by the police after pulling his unloaded gun. Which of these would be included in the denouement, the resolution or the ending of the novel? The novel turns out to be Ponyboy's theme for English class. Cherry becomes a spy for the Greasers, or Derry, Ponyboy, and Soda reunite in the hospital after the fire. In the following line, Soda never cracked a book or went to the movies. What literary device does Hinton use? Simile, metaphor, idiom. In the novel, Johnny tells Ponyboy to stay gold before he dies. Based on the poem, Nothing Gold Can Stay, what is Johnny saying? Money means happiness, stay good and innocent, spend time in nature. What is the problem with Ponyboy as the narrator? There is no problem. Ponyboy is the best. The reader has to trust that Ponyboy is telling the truth. The whole novel happened because he hit his head really hard. As Chubit and Ponyboy head back home from the hospital, Ponyboy says, "Tonight, I don't like it one bit," which creates a mood of excitement, anxious or uncomfortable, anger. The author changes the mood from suffering to mourning after Johnny dies by showing how Soda Pop feels about Sandy, showing Ponyboy as forgetful and unconcerned with his schoolwork, showing the editorials about Johnny being a hero. The last part of this test is to write a short answer response, proving whether Ponyboy is a static character or a dynamic character. Be sure to include specific details to support your response. Do this. Actually, I think Mrs. PK is going to be giving you a hard copy of this to do in class. You're going to be provided with a graphic organizer that you should be using to complete this short answer response. It says, write a short answer response proving whether Ponyboy is a static character or a dynamic character. Be sure to include specific text details to support your response. Please proofread and use the APE-PES format. This says, make sure to remove all the pick ones and blank lines. So where it says pick one, you're deleting that because I'm giving you choices and you're picking only one of them. So this says Ponyboy is a static or dynamic character. You have to pick one of these and delete the other one. Are you going to pick static or dynamic? Then it says because he, again, you're picking one, does or does not change. you're picking one of those and deleting the other one, and you're erasing the thing that says pick one because we don't want that in there. In the novel, it says you're providing a quote from the book that shows whether Pony is a static, dynamic character. Then again, you're picking one of these. Pony Boy is static or dynamic. You're going to write again whether he's static or dynamic. You're picking one and you're erasing the pick one. Because, so Pony Boy is blank because, and then you're kind of writing a response for this quote, like why he does the things that he does. In the novel, it says, so you're also going to pick another quote that shows that Pony Boy is static or dynamic. And then you're writing again, Pony Boy is, you're picking one of these and deleting the other one. And then you're deleting the thing that says pick one because, and you're writing again, why he is static or dynamic and the line. Make sure you're deleting these lines when you're filling them in. Don't just delete them and not write anything there. She's not going to give you any credit for that. You need to fill them in. And then the last part, Pony Boy is static or dynamic. You're picking one of these and deleting the other one, character, because blank and blank, he did or did not, you're picking one of those, change. All right, once you're done filling out the graphic organizer, you're turning it in and you are done with the test.